One day, a young man was commuting home on a crowded bus, feeling exhausted from a long, draining day at work. He noticed an elderly woman struggling with several heavy bags, a weary look on her face. He thought to himself, "Everyone just watches, but no one helps." He stood up and offered her his seat. She refused with a polite but firm smile. He insisted, "Please, you look more tired than I am." With a gentle laugh, she finally sat down. As he stood, swaying with the bus's motion, he felt a surge of pride in his small act of kindness. When he got off at his stop, he saw her through the window, talking animatedly on her phone, her face lit with joy. As he turned to walk home, his own phone rang. It was his doctor, calling with test results. "The treatment is working," the doctor said. "Your body is fighting back. Before you judge someone's strength, think about it. Maybe the person you're trying to help is actually the one holding you up." One day, a young man was commuting home on a crowded bus, juggling his groceries and a bouquet of flowers. He noticed an elderly woman staring at his bouquet with a sad, distant look. Annoyed by her constant gaze, he thought, "Why is she staring like that? It's making me uncomfortable." The woman's eyes welled up, but she quickly looked away. When his stop arrived, he hurried off, relieved to escape her unsettling stare. As he walked away, he overheard her whisper to another passenger, "My husband used to bring me flowers like that every week before he passed." He stopped, the bouquet suddenly feeling heavy in his hand. He turned back, but the bus was already gone. Too late to offer a kind word, he realized with a pang of regret that his minor annoyance was her profound memory. Before you judge, take a moment to consider. Perhaps their story is one you haven't heard. One day, a young artist was struggling with a blank canvas, feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders. He had spent weeks in his studio, feeling isolated and creatively blocked. He noticed his elderly neighbor tending to a small, withered plant on his balcony. The artist thought to himself, "How can he waste time on something so clearly dying? It has no hope." Day after day, the neighbor watered it. When a single tiny bud appeared, the artist scoffed. The neighbor smiled, gently touching the fragile bloom. "It's a lonely little thing, but it's trying," he said. The artist, annoyed by the optimism, slammed his studio door shut. He sank into his chair, staring at his own empty work. As he glanced out the window again, he saw his reflection. There, in the glass, was his own tired but determined face. "If that plant can bloom in solitude," he whispered, "then so can I." Too late to share his breakthrough, he realized with a start that he was the withered one, the one who needed tending. Before you give up, look closer. Maybe your own heart is still beating, and that's proof you can keep going. One day, a man was walking through a park, his shoulders slumped and his gaze fixed on the ground. He carried a heavy, invisible weight, a collection of past mistakes and unheard apologies. He noticed an old woman planting seeds in a small garden patch. He scoffed, thinking, "What's the point? The weather is harsh, the soil is poor, those will never grow." Day after day, he saw her tending to the barren patch, watering dirt and pulling weeds. When a tiny sprout finally emerged, he thought, "It's too small, it will never survive." He watched it struggle, bend in the wind, and fight for sunlight. Months later, he passed by again. The small sprout had grown into a strong, vibrant flower, standing tall despite the scars on its leaves. As he looked at the flower, he reached into his own heart and gasped with surprise. There was his own resilience right in front of his eyes. "If this flower can grow here," he whispered, "then my struggles were just preparing the soil for my own growth." Before you judge your own journey, think about it. Maybe your scars are just proof that you've been fighting to grow. One afternoon, a young man was struggling at the gym, trying to lift a weight he'd never lifted before. He failed once, twice, a third time. He saw a much stronger man watching him from across the room. The man walked over and the younger one braced for criticism. He thought, "Great, here comes the lecture on my terrible form." The stronger man didn't say a word. He just stood behind him, ready to spot. With that silent support, the young man tried again. The bar went up. As he re-racked the weight, he turned to thank the man, but he was already walking away. He realized the man wasn't there to judge, but to help him overcome his own limits. He thought to himself, "The biggest battles are won quietly for ourselves." Before you give up, look around. Maybe strength is already there, waiting for you to find it in yourself. Once, a man was hiking a treacherous mountain trail, exhausted and ready to give up. He saw an old woman ahead, struggling with a heavy basket, yet moving with a steady pace. He scoffed, thinking, "If she can do it, surely I can." He pushed past her, feeling a surge of pride with every step he took ahead. As a storm rolled in, he lost his footing near the peak. Just as he slipped, a weathered hand grabbed his arm. It was the old woman. She pulled him up, then opened her basket, offering him her last piece of bread and water. She had only followed him to ensure he was safe. As she turned back, he saw his own folly. He wasn't stronger than her, he was just more arrogant. If this story touched your heart, remember, it's okay to feel. It's okay to struggle, but never forget. You are stronger than you think.